pull up on my phone to see.
Alright, it's live.
He's running on me like.
Yeah, alright, so. Yeah. Now the preview's going in.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, hey, you can see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna share it and then come back over there and do my spiel. I'm over my daily limit for sending tweets. That's a new one. Alright, I can't share that, I guess. Alright. Let's make sure this works.
I mean, I know we're fine.
Can you hear the audio?
Yeah, we were fine. I don't have it pulled up right now, but it was working. It was fine.
Alright. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna pull it up here so I can see the mic. I'm gonna leave that so I can turn the volume down on the direct if need be. What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios, and welcome to our live presentation of the Nintendo Direct on February 8th, 2023. I am your host, Eli, the runner of TreeFall Studios, and this is my buddy, Taylor.
Hey, everybody.
Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at the Nintendo Direct today. Got a little bit slow behind the pace, wanted to get up a little bit earlier and talk about some of our predictions. We have about 2 minutes till the show actually starts, so we're not going to get to talk too much about that. I guess we'll talk a little bit more about once it's over with. What do you think you're going to see today?
I don't know. I mean, we both just talked about a few things the past couple of days. I mean, we all want to see Metroid, and I want to see Rhythm Heaven, obviously, personally.
Yeah. That's what I think. To me, like, my dream wishes is, like, them to show up with, you know, some really obscure games. I honestly think that you're going to see Metroid Prime Trilogy remastered, and I think yeah, I can hear the audio. I think you're going to actually see Metroid Prime 4, and I think that's going to be basically we have one more thing to show you. That's going to be it for today. I think that the most of the show is going to be about Zelda because it's launching in 3 months, and it's going to be the game to carry the whole year. I do think Kid Icarus is going to show up. I think that is going to be one of the surprise drops, and it's going to be an HD port from the 3DS. And I think you're going to get some decent gameplay, maybe a date on Pikmin, something like that.
Yeah, that's another one I want to see. I mean, is that the rumor that they're porting the Icarus game?
Yeah, Sakurai literally said that on his YouTube channel. He was like, it would be nice if someone did that, wouldn't it?
Oh my God.
That's literally what he said.
Oh
and I'm
my God.
He's like, it would be nice if someone took care of that game before you would.
Like, nobody played it, right?
No, it's sold.
Okay.
It's sold.
I mean, it was obviously.
Yeah. Looks like we are starting here, so you're going to get our first view here. Oh. Okay, I can hear it. Can you get the audio?
In my headphones?
Yeah, you got it?
Well, yeah. It's just obviously...
Dude, we're starting with Pikmin? Could we get any better than this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I love the music too.
Music's great.
Oh my God. Look at Miyamoto go. Yeah, of course. Oh my Lord, dude. It's like it's like, how do they even do this on Switch hardware? Pikmin is the best looking franchise Nintendo has.
Yeah.
It better be Olimar.
Someone new?
I hope it's Olimar's daughter.
Wow.
You're talking super clear, bro. Oh my god, I love it. See, the new camera perspective, when you're so down and close, it's interesting, but I pretty much do like the top down for Pikmin. I hope you can swing the camera up some. Climbing walls, that's new.
Ooh.
Ice, oh, you get a brand new Pikmin already? Wow. Yeah, I did the same thing. I wanted to make sure it was working. So you can just freeze the water. Look at that. That's an amiibo. That's an amiibo.
Yeah.
100%.
Everything just looks so good.
Oh my gosh, he can just carry it by himself. Literally, that's an amiibo.
Oh wow. That's broken.
Good boy. Dude, they have really outdone themselves in this. I love the all new characters too. Of course, the worst boss in history. Oh, that is also one of the worst ones. You fight that in Pikmin 2 in the cave and you lose everyone and then you cry with your 7 Pikmin as you go down to the last floor. That looks like a cave, so it looks like we're getting caves returning. Which Pikmin 2 is my favorite game. So.
What does that do in the middle?
I like their new ship. That is just unbelievable.
Date, no, quarter, something.
Well, I honestly think this is
Zombie
going to be...
Pikmin.
I think this is going to be the September game, to be honest. Yep, I was close. So this is the slot that they use. This is the same Xenoblade date from the previous year. Basically.
Your guide for today's Nintendo Direct. That
Wow.
was the latest trailer for Pikmin 4.
Dude, that's better than I could have thought.
Yeah,
I looks awesome. Like, dude, what?
Please look forward to more information in the future. Let's see our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
This new hero is a real gem. Introducing
I knew it.
3 of the Xenoblade
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the exact format that they did in the last Direct.
Say hello to Masha, the newest hero and a refined Lapidaris. She can use special accessories that can bestow various effects. Challenge battles with roguelike elements are also being added. Select only one character and battle wave after wave of enemies. For every win, you'll earn more heroes and special abilities. Rack up victories with your heroes and set your sights on the final stage. You might also get special in-game outfits as a reward. And coming in Volume 4 later this year.
Tell me why!
Oh my god.
Really, what you
Oh my god.
Nothing's gonna get through to him. He's a heartless machine.
I could just cry here. I could just cry.
Wasn't enough for you?
Volume 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game launches on the Nintendo Switch system February 15th.
Nice. Wow.
That's really good.
Samba de Amigo, bro? What is happening? This hasn't been a game since like Wii.
In a brand new Samba de Amigo game. Grab your
Sega's
Joy-Con
gonna be
controllers and gently shake them like maracas to match the targets.
I wish they would just come out with a new Dreamcast
Yeah,
and then just put all their games on there.
And dance.
They should just re-release it. It's like, it was ahead of its time, yeah.
It might happen. So
But not now.
It was pretty good back then.
Yeah, I mean it was actually insane for the time when it came out.
Yeah, the graphics of those
Absolutely,
games,
Show up in
nuts.
style too. Compete online.
I mean, I think people enjoy these games.
Those with the lowest scores in each round will be eliminated. Keep the beat and aim for first place. 40 songs are included, spanning a multitude of genres from around the world. So grab those controllers and get shaken when Samba de Amigo Party Central shimmies onto
It's
Nintendo
interesting.
Switch this
They have a
summer.
third-party announcement that's brand new. They might do a couple of those.
Got a passion for fashion? Welcome to Fashion Dreamer.
It's
This
so
is
shiny.
the place to glam it up and express yourself. Here, you'll aim to
This
become
is
a
also very
stylish
Japanese.
influencer.
Yeah,
And
well, it's from
you're in
XD,
luck.
so
Tons of people are seeking the latest trends. Give them a like if you dig their style.
say this one's not for me.
Or
Why?
suggest new outfits for them to grow as an influencer.
Dressing up in fashion.
Yeah, you don't even spend
Now
more
it's
than 2
time
minutes in the
for
character
fashion
creator.
design.
Yeah.
So,
Choose from over
I'm like, this is
1,000
like the
design
epitome of
options.
games I don't enjoy. Just creating the character all day.
yeah, it's part of that's like half the fun.
Part of the experience.
You can get
I mean, a
the
lot of
outfits
games
people are
like
wearing by liking them.
Fashion Souls. I mean, come on. I mean, at the end, that's half of what you're doing. It's just trying to look good.
I really to make the character for me. And make it to where, you know, I actually can
I mean, yeah, that's
sympathize
fine.
with
But I still want new clothes
it.
and like
Yeah.
shiny armor and a new sweater.
Grow your
For
brand.
Fashion?
It's like
Then get
influencer
styling
game.
when Fashion Dreamer debuts exclusively on Nintendo
You don't
Switch
want to take
this
selfies all
year.
day in the game?
Not really. I'll have to pass on that one.
Delve into these
Delve into dark worlds.
Dracula's castle beckons in this new
Hmm.
paid DLC for the roguelite action platformer Dead Cells.
Man,
Venture through the
it's
castle's
crazy when,
halls
you know,
and
you got these
outskirts
indies that are
alongside
so
Rick
big
and
that they're doing third-party partnerships with stuff like Castlevania or,
Dracula
you know,
himself.
any of this other kind of stuff.
Wield the vampire killer and other
mean, Dead Cells
iconic
is pretty
weapons as
huge.
you vanquish legions
Yeah,
of monsters
I
in
don't play-
frenetic combat.
I don't play
12
it,
original
just 'cause
covers,
I obviously don't play
51
these that much.
songs from the Castlevania
Yeah,
series
this is
including
one that didn't hold me
Request
too much. I probably played about
Dead
10 hours of
Cells
it.
return
Maybe not
to
even that much, to be
Sinking
honest.
its teeth into Nintendo Switch.
Well, probably between
Pre-orders
Xbox and
begin
Switch, I
today
put about 10
on
hours into
Nintendo
it.
eShop.
When it comes to the roguelikes and stuff,
Enter a new
I
grid
really just like
in
the
this
turn-based
narrative
card
puzzle
ones way
adventure
more
set
than
within
combat
the Tron
ones.
universe. Uncover dangerous truths and retrieve
Tron?
what was lost
Don't
as
you like that?
navigate through a
Why? Because it's like
sci-fi in space.
It's not really in space. It's more just.
Yeah,
It's just
futuristic.
cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Tron Identity
I never watched
was
this
first for
movie.
I
console
watched the
Switch
remake
this
movie.
Yeah.
I have never seen the original.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that? Well, that can't be good. The time-bending murder mystery Ghost Trick returns in HD. After kicking the
Capcom
bucket
game.
and becoming a ghost, you can possess and control objects. With your
Kinda
powers, you can even help
interesting.
others, like this woman,
And you
and
bring
change
Ghost
any
back.
ill-fated,
Played on Wii.
fate.
Shadow game or whatever. I can't remember.
Ghost
Lit?
Trick, Phantom
But
Detective.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's a.
Switch this summer.
I forget who made that, but that was a WiiWare game. I think it was like Frontier or something like that.
Two connected
I don't
worlds,
remember.
one suspenseful
Like one of those
thriller.
small devs. I love how since you're reacting to this with me, you actually have to watch the whole direct. It's been probably like 3 years since you've done that. You just watch the highlights.
And most of the time, not even that.
Yeah.
I'm
like force you into it.
I'm trying to remember the last one. I mean, when Smash was like receiving, when there were Smash Directs, like those were the ones I would watch. But that, and once Smash stopped receiving DLC, yeah, probably since then. Probably since it came out. Steve was last, right? See, I don't even know. I don't even remember.
No, Kingdom Hearts was last.
Oh, right, yeah.
Thing.
Sora.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, see, that'll be coming up before they segue back into Nintendo games. They'll drop Mario Kart DLC Wave 4 for sure. Because, I mean, they've been doing that throughout the... It's supposed to end this year. There's 8 waves, and they're getting ready to go on 4. I really like the stuff they dropped in the last one, because it had Maple Treeway and Mushroom Gorge from Wii. And I love a lot of the Wii tracks, to be honest. I mean, this looks kind of cool.
It reminds me of Persona.
Yeah. That's there she goes. She knows we're live. I told her that to join in, but she was like, no.
Yeah, hide.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a witch and a demon.
Oh, this is the.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't
this one's-
seen. I don't.
Did you watch the trailer for
I
this?
did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is already dated. This is their March
To
game.
rescue her imprisoned mother. She
So-
ventures deep into the Avalon forest ruled by fairies.
You know, Nintendo's full Bayonetta now, so this is like the prequel. This is like Origins.
It reminds me kind of
She'll
the
encounter the otherworldly demon
Alice.
Cheshire.
in Madness games or whatever.
You'll control both witch and demon at the
But
same
this
time.
is a lot more.
I mean, it has an interesting art style, that's for sure. And the fact that they were able to put this together so fast while they've been working on Bayonetta for like 5 years,
They'll need to work
you know, it's kind of
together in battle
impressive.
as well.
You can tell Nintendo's really giving them a lot of budget.
Cereza cannot attack and can only
leeway on
support
that.
Cheshire by magically binding enemies. Hold an enemy in place while Cheshire attacks. Or stop an aggressive one to focus on another. Strategically use each character's abilities to win battles.
I mean, I didn't play any of the Bayonetta. I played like a few minutes of it, like I tried it on Wii U, but I didn't get it on Switch.
I think I played a demo of one,
New
and
paths can be opened.
I've just never been into button
Can be more
mashers
easily
really.
swayed
I mean, God of War was like the only one I ever played.
Can Cereza
And really, the
Yeah.
reason I played it and I liked it so much was because it was like the Greek mythology stuff. That was like the main reason why I liked it.
Bayonetta
Yeah.
Origins.
I would be more apt to play that than the other games, to be honest.
Nintendo Switch system,
I
March
mean,
17th.
but I still don't know if that's something I would get. That's like maybe a
On Nintendo
pick up
eShop.
on sale type of thing for me,
How was that?
if that.
Next, please
As long as they
take a
run a
look at
physical
this.
copy of it. Get some Splatoon DLC. Or just
My favorite.
maybe a Splatfest announcement or something. No, this has got to be some DLC. They finally opened up the... Yeah, of course, they opened up the subway. This is exactly like Splatoon 2. When they did the Octoling expansion, it was... You know, you do the subway to it. But this is... looking different, actually. What is happening? This, you just walk back to the old Splatoon?
That's why I was confused. I was like, wait, what?
Introducing the Splatoon 3 expansion.
Full
pack.
version of game
This
required
paid
DLC.
DLC includes 2 waves of content. The first wave is Inkopolis. Make this splat-tastic place from the original Splatoon game your stomping grounds. This is Booyah Base. It's got some pretty nifty weapons and gear. You might spot a few familiar faces alongside new shopkeepers. Products here are the same as the ones
Wait,
in
they're bringing back
Splat's
the old
game, so
weapons?
shop wherever your vibes are
Oh, no.
strongest. Salmon Run. Table Turf
That'd be
Battle.
crazy.
Maybe some, because
If they brought back like old combat, like broken combination.
All work in
Yeah.
the same way here too.
I mean, it looks good from the original game. I thought they were gonna say you're gonna have to pay for like all the
Here during Splatfest.
maps from like the original game or something like
Need a
that.
mix of old school and freshness.
Although I don't think they're gonna be doing that because they drop free maps like every season. They did that all throughout Splatoon
The
2.
first wave of this paid DLC launches this spring.
This feels kind of like really Splatoon fan servicey type deal. Like if you were actually just
What's this?
that's like feels like very cosmetic. Oh, this looks cool. I was hoping that they would do more single player levels with the DLC like they did with the other ones.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that a lot. They're probably going to do a lot with it with how much money they made on Splatoon. It's outselling and outpacing Splatoon 2.
Launches this spring. Wave 2 Side Order will launch in the future.
That's cool. So I'm glad that no maps are tied to that, because they've been so good about just like updating the game for years for free.
Many people have played Splatoon 3 since its launch. Thank you all very much. We hope players will be able to enjoy the game
Now they show you
even
the Mario
more
Kart
with the
DLC.
upcoming paid expansion pass. Please look forward to more information about Splatoon 3 in the future. Let's see some more Nintendo Switch headlines.
Adventure awaits Mickey and friends on Illusion Island. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck,
Don't care about that now.
Goofy. Embark on
That
a
way I
new
can lay
adventure
back so my
on
headphones aren't pulling me up forward so much.
and save the
Like, I wonder why
mysterious
you were
island
sitting
of
so
Mono.
far forward. The cord was
too short. And then I was like, man, it started to get my back a little bit, leaning over.
Every nook and
And I was
cranny of
like,
the island.
let's just move my laptop up.
By unlocking special
least it
abilities,
looks pretty
you
cool
can reach new
on the
places and
screen
find
preview.
secret areas. Cross
Better
large
than
chasms with boost
It
jump.
hasn't crashed.
Ground-pound barriers to open new spaces.
I really think that was just the
and glide
internet
through the
thing.
air to reach distant platforms
I
and
think
hidden
the
areas.
internet,
Each character's personality shines
yeah,
through in their
it's
actions.
possible.
Up to
That's
4
how
house
cool,
locally
yeah.
can brave
Local
the
co-op,
islands.
see that?
Share a
Yeah.
hub for
Oh my
extra
god.
I told you, every Switch game, local co-op, you're like, it doesn't exist. Like,
or
every
drop a
Switch game
rope
has
to lend a
it.
hand.
Every single one.
Work together to
I
save
mean,
money
Nintendo will like go out of their way to
discover new
put at least
paths.
like
There's just not a lot of
mini-
games made like this anymore. There used to be games like this, like the like Castle Crashers and all that. There was a
Yeah.
lot of those being made, and then they just stopped.
Well, you know, Nintendo's game next month, the one that's already slated for February, which you'll see a trailer in here. If they skip it, I'd be surprised. Is a new Kirby. It's the same thing, 4 players, just like that. You know, it's not a new Kirby; it's a remaster from the Wii, but it has new features and stuff. So.
More emblems are on the way. New emblems are coming.
I didn't know if they would take up time with this since this just came out, but I assume, I guess they are.
Wave 2 includes Hector, Emblem of
Nice.
Strength, raise defense and unleash counterattacks.
It's like one of my favorite Fire Emblems.
Soren, Emblem of Acumen, cast magic spells over a wide area.
Is that
Of course.
Yeah.
Emblem
Oh
of
my God.
Revelation.
Everybody was
the
cool.
terrain to hinder
I
enemies.
guess she's come. That's
Actually, she
from
she really
Phase.
wasn't my favorite from the game.
Crom and Robin,
Crom.
Emblem of Bonds. Overwhelm foes with sword and magic attacks.
you had it the wrong way around?
Veronica, Emblem of Heroes.
See, like, these are characters from the mobile
To
game.
fight for your cause.
Mm.
Challenge newly added missions to
I mean, they're still
recruit
part of the
these
universe.
Yeah. But like this whole game is like tiered towards players of that, I
A
feel
new
like.
story called Fell Xenologue will
Right,
be
yeah,
unlocked.
Thank you for answering
Well,
my
that's cool.
prayers.
So if they actually have a story expansion.
Watch out!
Because like in the other card games, they usually have like story chapters, or like in Three Houses they had a giant, not a giant, but they had like an 8-chapter story or something like that with a different house in the expansion pass. So I guess you get the heroes right away.
Take control of your destiny. This is Reverie, a world in which deities known as aspirations dwell. When a megacorp endangers the harmony between Reverie and our world, the future of humanity hangs in the balance. In this narrative adventure, harness your divine
corporations can
gift of
beat you.
clairvoyance to travel between worlds,
Yeah.
see the future, and decide humanity's fate. Many branching story paths, along with a riveting soundtrack by Celeste composer Lena Raine, set the stage for your journey. Eventually, you'll side with one of the 6 aspirations like Bond, Power, or Chaos to change the story's outcome. To which destiny do you aspire? Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, launches first for consoles on Nintendo Switch this June.
I don't know.
These games will have
I have zero thoughts about that game. No opinion whatsoever.
Traveler 2.
You know, so many people are excited for this. They're like really excited about this. I mean, granted, this one does look better than the first game, but still, like, you know.
It's only better if it fixes my entire main issue with the first game.
Well, the story's changed depending on what you do now, and they interact differently. That's
I
like,
hope so.
yeah, because I mean, they didn't do that in the first game.
They did. That's why I hated it, because it's not.
Look how good it looks now.
I think it
Keep
was
it
the same.
rolling. Run
But
around and collect
the-
items and objects in this remastered.
Yeah, the whole point was you're supposed to be this band of characters.
Yeah, and nothing changed.
And nothing
It was
happens.
exactly.
Absolutely nothing happens. You have the intro, and then you just play the game with these four people that could look, be anybody, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just frustrating that they don't interact with each other.
Yeah, I don't think it's like crazy, but I think you can do a little bit more in the second game. It's not something that I'm going to be playing probably.
Comes to Nintendo Switch June 2nd.
People love this junk
In
too.
addition, active Nintendo Switch Online members can play a pre-game
Free
trial
trial.
of Katamari Damacy Roll.
I mean, this was like super famous back on like the
Sun
PS2.
and Moon to fend off evil in this turn-based RPG. Freely traverse a breathtaking world, meet characters from all walks of life, and devastate foes with timed attacks in battle. Complement your journey with enchanting.
Yeah, I forget what this is called. I think they've
melodies
shown it
and
before.
tunes from the renowned Yasunori Mitsuda, a guest composer.
This is like
of the game. Sea of Stars sails onto Nintendo Switch August
Yeah.
29th. A free demo will
I mean,
launch
it's very high quality
today
looking.
on
Yeah,
Nintendo
I
eShop.
like the art style.
Duke it out.
Yeah, the fact that they're giving like this much,
Multiplayer showdown.
what do you call it, publicity to like some of these smaller titles, or mostly kind of like almost indie games. It's pretty nice.
Use each striker's skills.
It's another prediction. A lot of people thought that, you know, the Hollow Knight Silk Song was going to show up and get dated in this.
Block areas to gain the advantage.
Not sure if that'll be the last one of their like
Knock opponents
third-party
out of the
reel
arena
or
with
what.
explosive moves. Omega Strikers slides
Yeah,
onto
those are all
Nintendo
really
Switch
good.
April 27th.
yeah.
Free-to-play game
This is how
today
most of them
on
are.
Nintendo
I mean,
eShop.
because they'll start with a big Nintendo game, they'll show a couple of updates on stuff we already know about,
Right.
then they'll pop a bunch of
The
third
collection
parties.
of first three
See, now this
Action
is
Odyssey
cool.
games is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Like
remastered
these
in HD.
games, like
Many treasures
everyone
hide
is going to be
within
so
a
happy about
massive
this because
labyrinth.
all of these were getting ready to disappear on the 3DS. That's what everyone was saying. Buy these.
These look like old school dungeon crawlers.
They are. And the thing is like these have physical prints on 3DS, but they're all like 100 plus to buy them, and like they're like $20 to $40 on the eShop. And you know that's going away in a month, so everyone's like worried, like, oh, go download. These are some of the ones that people list off a bunch. So like people will be like really excited about this. I bought one of them. There's like 6 or 7 games or something like that. There's like 5. There's like a bunch of them on 3DS. I don't know if they're all on 3DS or not. I bought one, but I haven't tried it yet. I just like downloaded it. Because some of the dungeon crawler stuff, like, you know, it's still kind of like the turn-based kind of stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten
Different
too
ones.
much into the dungeon crawler scene yet.
Like that, like those kind.
on Nintendo eShop. Pre-orders begin today.
Yeah, I mean, those
on
look pretty
Nintendo
good.
eShop.
I mean, they looked good on the 3DS, but like, it just looks really cool.
Get
Most
your
of
Maybe
them
they
are
were
like
good.
the classic, just like dungeon brick.
Calling
You think this
all
is dropping in
strategy
2 days?
The Advance Wars
That's what the
1+2
leak was.
reboot
It's gonna come out on
campaign's
the
only a
10th.
couple of months away.
They
Join
literally,
Hank, Max, Sammy,
a couple of
and
months
more
away.
in 2 full story campaigns, each one filled with colorful turn-based tactical action. Flex your strategic muscles across a multitude of modes.
I don't particularly like the art. I mean, I think the art is brilliant. I mean, it's really good looking, but I don't like the redesign. You know, like, because I mean, they used to be a little bit more. Not that it was. I mean, the first one was like cartoony, but it's still like a little more gritty than like a complete cartoon. Here's your Kirby trailer. So they are dropping that in April.
In the Kirby's Return to Dreamland.
So you have Kirby in April, Bayonetta in March,
Magolor, the interdimensional
I mean, Kirby in
dragon from the
February,
main adventure, has
Advance Wars
lost
in
its
April.
powers and must
So they have
escape
something
the
every
realm
month.
between
Zelda in
dimensions.
May. Nothing for June yet, because they put Pikmin in July.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty solid. They have something major from Nintendo each month.
To regain Magolor's powers, you'll need to collect magic points by defeating enemies. With magic points, different abilities can be restored and enhanced.
Magic?
Improve Magolor's levitation, or increase his attack range. The order in which you restore his powers is up to you.
This is like all the new content that's like been added onto this game, basically.
Up to 4 players on the same
This
system
wasn't in the
can
original
venture
game.
through this mysterious realm together. Can Magolor restore his powers and safely return to his world? You can access
Yeah, your
this
prediction
new
is
level
probably not
after
your
clearing
hope.
story mode.
You got 13 minutes left.
Yeah.
Which I think most of that is about to be dedicated to Zelda, with your one surprise at the end.
After today's Nintendo Direct, a demo will be
It's Metroid.
available
Could you
on
imagine the
Nintendo
ending
eShop.
on Rhythm Hammock?
I know.
That's the
4
finger.
players can play
I
a
wish.
specially arranged
Yeah,
demo
but-
with select stages and sub-games.
I mean, actually, I would still rather have
Kirby's
Metroid.
Return
Actually, I
to
don't know.
Dreamland Deluxe
Because it's
launches
like,
on
you
the
know you'll
Nintendo
get
Switch
another
system
Metroid, but you
February
don't know if you're
24th.
going to ever get another Rhythm
Pre-orders are
Hammock.
available
So it's like,
now
you might as
on
well take the Rhythm
Nintendo
Hammock when
eShop.
you can. I mean, Kirby looks good.
We hope you're
I'll
looking
probably buy
forward
that,
to
but
the
I don't
new
know if I'll
story
get it right at the
in Kirby's
launch.
Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Next, here's some news about Nintendo Switch Online. Please take a look at this.
Nintendo Switch Online. Wow. Oh, wow. A whole new set of games.
Tetris.
Game Boy games.
Game Boy games are being added to Nintendo Switch Online. On Nintendo Switch, you can play these games anytime, anywhere, just like you could back in the day.
Now, this would be...
Let's
Tetris!
introduce
Well,
the
man,
games
it's like
that
the
will
number
be
one thing
available
about
at
the
launch.
game.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I guess
Tetris.
they
Arrange
have
the following
Pokemon.
Tetris
Yeah, I was gonna say,
games
like,
and
literally, like,
games.
Pokemon and Tetris.
Super Mario
Now,
Land
if they
2
had-
says golden coins.
See, this still
I'd be
doesn't...
surprised if they
Mario
even put
stole
Pokemon
from
in
you.
there.
This doesn't surprise... Or this
Legend of
doesn't
Zelda,
do
Link's
anything for
Awakening
me.
DX. Awaken
Because,
the
like, I
Link
don't
to
like
escape
any of it
Coco
on
Island.
subscription service anyways. I'd rather buy it somewhere where I can have it.
Gargoyle's Quest. Save the Ghoul Realm. as
But it would be
Spider-Man
pretty sweet if they
goes
go
to
ahead and
Island
say
series.
Game Boy Advance.
Game
gonna
&
be
Watch
in there.
Gallery 3.
Because to
Play an
me, like,
assortment
the
of Game &
lineup on
Watch
Game Boy
titles.
Advance is a lot stronger than Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. Solve a murder mystery on the supernatural Shadow Island. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Destroy the Metroids hiding on planet SR-388.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna put any Pokemon in there.
Wario Land 3.
Very surprised.
Traverse a world that changes between day and night based
Man.
on your actions.
Be like the original Yellow.
Kirby's Dream
I
Land.
just don't even
Look,
think of
inhale,
anything
and
of them.
spit out enemies in Kirby's debut title.
They're worth too much money still.
Kirby is so good.
You can use the Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, or Game Boy Color screen filters. Up to 2
That's
players
pretty
can
dope.
play compatible games together
Because
locally
you
or
can get your
online.
nostalgia on if you want.
Um,
We can play
More
Tetris
games will be
online.
added in the future.
I really wish they'd remake Tetris Plus.
Yeah, see, here you go. Of course. Just give us that sound. I mean, makes me want to just die. Literally, the Game Boy Advance.
games are being added
is
to Nintendo
so
Switch Online
good.
Plus expansion pack. Here are the games that you can play at launch. Super Mario Advance 4.
This makes
Super
expansion
Mario
pack
Brothers
worth it,
3.
especially if you don't have a way to
38
play
extra
all these
levels from
games.
the Nintendo e-reader
Like, I have
accessory.
almost all of these games that they're
WarioWare
showing.
Mega Micro
Like, I have
Games.
this. I have them all
Experience
either
the
on
origins of the
3DS
lightning fast
or
micro
Wii U
games.
already, or like on the actual physical Game Boy Advance. I still
Guide
have
the
some of
spinning
those
stick
games.
to the goal without hitting obstacles.
But if you want to play everything on one console,
Mario
and
Kart
you're going to be
Super
paying for
Circuit.
online anyways,
Race in the first Mario Kart
you
game
know,
created for a
you're getting
portable
more
system.
value out of it now.
Mario and Luigi
I mean,
Superstar
the Mario
Saga.
and Luigi on there
Venture
is
through a zany world and fight
awesome.
with equally zany attacks.
Maybe they'll show you Rhythm Heaven on Game Boy. You know the original
The
game was
Legend
on
of
Game
Zelda,
Boy.
the
Yeah.
Minish
It's the only one I haven't played.
Shrink to miniature size and dive
Minish
into
Cap
a
is
big
amazing.
adventure. Local and
Oh
online
my
play
gosh,
supported
like
by
Super
compatible
Circuit
games.
multiplayer?
4 players can play together.
Oh, now that makes me feel some type of way. Because you can't do that unless... I mean, we could do that if you have the cable.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cable.
Library as well.
Bro, see, that is the best Fire Emblem. And Golden Sun. Have you ever
After
played
this
Golden
presentation,
Sun?
You can play these Game Boy
That
titles
is-
with the Nintendo Switch online.
Like, that's one of those dream ones that you want to see show up. And we have one more thing, and there's a new Golden Sun game. There's 2 on the Game Boy Advance, and then there's 1 on the DS. But the Game Boy ones are better.
Select Game Boy titles
Man.
will be playable on Nintendo Switch. And after today's Nintendo Direct, you'll be able to play the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles we introduced. Please look forward to more information.
Because I'm like
about
literally doing a
Nintendo
run
Switch
of Fire
Online
Emblem on
and
my
Nintendo
Wii U,
Switch
but
Online
like if I
plus
could just
expansion
save states
packs in
on
the future.
Switch, might
Let's
as well
see a
just do
few
it
more
there.
headlines.
Yeah. They're giving good
The
ways.
original Metroid
Of course.
Prime game is
Here's your
remastered
Metroid.
on Nintendo Switch.
I can't believe they're only doing the first one.
They'll do them one by one then.
Yeah.
To filter.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Dude, Phendrana Drifts is my favorite area and favorite level of any game. Landing on Town 4 like that, dude, you've got to be
Oh,
kidding
the suit
me.
looks so good too.
And they kept the style.
Yeah,
They didn't change
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It looks realistic. Dude. Yeah, they are 100%. The one more thing is Metroid Prime 4. Like, they're not showing this without doing that. Dude.
Same.
Yeah, Retro is literally... That title screen is my favorite title screen of all time.
First Metroid Prime game.
That's also the
originally
best.
Released on the Nintendo
That's a
GameCube
heck of a
system, it's been
remaster.
remastered for Nintendo
I love the
Switch.
way the suit looks.
Explore Talon 4 from the perspective of Samus.
This is the greatest game ever
But
made.
beware, there's more to this alien planet than meets the eye. Visors are the
I hope
key
that
to your
there's.
adventure.
I don't know why there wouldn't be.
They'll help you discover info and clues on how to progress.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the situation, a certain visor may be required. When
See,
hostile
I played this
creatures
game so
attack,
many times. I
keep
played
your
it
sights
on the
with a lock-on
GameCube a
feature.
ton
Then,
without the
with
extra
ease,
stick. I also played it on the Wii. A lot of people thought it was better with the Wii controls.
and more.
But for this game, you know, it still works on the GameCube.
This
Yeah, I mean, you
remaster
can
adds new
play this
dual-stick
however
controls,
you
allowing
want.
you to
I'm
move
just-
around
that's
while
how I
separately
played it
changing your
originally.
point of view.
Yeah.
You can also select a control style
That boss,
that creates the
I
feel of
actually
each
still
game,
remember
among
that.
other
Yeah,
control
that's the one of the first ones.
Explore Talon 4 with your preferred playstyle. The digital version of Metroid Prime Remastered launches on Nintendo eShop later today. The physical version of the game will be available in stores February
You're gonna go home and
22nd.
plug that in.
Oh my god!
February 22nd. That's like 2
Physical.
weeks.
Yeah, that's 2
I'm buying them
weeks.
both.
Test.
I mean, like
I literally have
literally,
so many things to play right now.
dude. Like,
I'll have to buy. I'll
I'm
probably
gonna-
wait for
I'm
the
literally-
physical just because.
I'm taking a Lear and shoving them out the window.
Solve the
Be like,
with
get out of here, Gage! Samus is back!
by Amaterasu
Dude,
Corporation.
what? Because they needed a shadow drop, but they also want to sell that game physically. So that's the whole reason. Because you couldn't do a shadow drop. Like it would have
Right.
broken. Someone would have broken Street Day if it was in Walmart already. That's the whole reason why it's coming out in 2 weeks. Now they're shipping them. Like starting
That's
today.
crazy.
That looks-
It looks crazy.
That looks. I want to cry. That is like my favorite game of all time. That and Xenoblade are my 2 favorite games ever.
These abilities can be
Oh my
shared with
god,
you.
dude.
So this is
This is the best direct ever.
Use them
It's just
to
because
get
you came
closer
over.
to
Yeah.
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 After
Because you haven't even
collecting
seen
enough
Zelda.
evidence,
There's
a
only
mystery
5
novel
minutes.
will
Like,
appear.
maybe they're not even going to show Metroid. Maybe they're just going to do Zelda. That'll be the last thing that they show. Because it's literally out in 3 months.
Master Detective Archives, Raincoat.
Maybe they're not gonna show
launches
Zelda at
on
all. Maybe
Nintendo
they're gonna
Switch
show
June 30th.
A long Metroid trailer, and then we'll get a Zelda direct.
They might do that, to be honest. Dude, you've got to be kidding me. The leaks are true?
A remastered collection of both bought and
This is a
pirated
GameCube
originally
game.
released on the Nintendo
Oh my God, they're
system,
doing
is
both?
coming to Nintendo Switch.
This is a card game too.
Era on the
These
floating
games
islands
are
above
these are some of the
her.
most
The
valuable
Empire's
GameCube games. Like
conspiracy
one of them
was
is worth like 250,
as
300
spirits dwelling within
or
the
whatever.
It looks like one of those like really obscure but good games. Like one of those like really weird ones.
Yeah, like they're like Metacritics are like in the 9s or something. Maybe one of them's not as good as the other ones. Maybe it's like in the 80s or something like that. But one of them is like really beloved. I
It
think.
reminds me of Fantasy Star.
But it's actually like, you know, a card game. So, yeah, but I know. And like, I never knew about it till recently when I was, you know, into all the card games and stuff. And I was like, wow, I've got to get that. And everyone was saying, oh, you need this for your GameCube collection. But like, they're stupidly expensive to buy, so like, I don't have them. But this was
and the lands below.
for some reason, like people were saying that it was going to be, it was Namco published back in the day, but they were saying that Monolith was going to be doing it for Nintendo. But wow, Fantasy Life, that's a surprise. Dude, Dustin played this game so much.
He
Back
plays
in the
every
day,
game he
so
plays.
much.
Yeah, every game he plays is like a minimum of 1,000 hours.
Yeah, because this was a huge game back on the 3DS.
Diving Island. You'll meet a mysterious.
Kevin will like this, I'm sure.
Give me.
Yeah.
Then
I
travel
mean, his
Nice. We
Metroid.
got Metroid. Dude, Metroid makes me want to cry. Wish new Mario game was shown. Yeah, a lot of
people were wanting like Odyssey 2 or.
a lot of people were. Well, there's a big rumor saying that they're gonna have a tie-in Mario game to the movie,
Right, yeah.
a 2D Mario game. It doesn't look like it. We've got 2 minutes left. Ish. They said 40-ish minutes, so it might run over. But
There's an indie
Life
record.
is yours to live.
Fantasy Life.
Yeah.
I don't even care, dude.
Yeah, at this
Pikmin
point.
and Metroid? Like,
Yeah.
how you couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
even make it better unless they're like, oh, here's Xenoblade 4. It's all about shoulder. And he's shirtless, boys.
Oh my god.
It's rewind time. They put him in a little trailer thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Professor Layton, dude, this is also like, wow.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love this series.
I mean, he's got a full brand new. Because that'll probably be
It's like
that's
a
a
2-second
Nintendo.
teaser, yeah.
Here we go. I was right, baby. All right, let's see what we got. Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island. A
That has
brand
to
new
be
course
new.
is zooming into Wave 4 of the Mario Kart
Yep.
8 Deluxe
I
Booster
played every
Course
Mario
Pass
Kart.
DLC.
Never seen that. God, Mario Kart. Did you realize they just announced their fiscal year end, all the numbers? Mario Kart has now sold 52 million copies.
Is also being added to Wave 4.
Yeah. It's their best-selling game that they've ever sold outside of Wii Sports because they packed it in with every Wii.
The Chibi Robot, yeah.
Yeah, you like that? I was just throwing in all sorts of games we like, Chibi Robo and Star Fox. I'm like, yeah, Star Fox Assault, baby. You know, all sorts of crazy stuff. I put Battalion Wars in there as well. They're never bringing that back, especially now, but I actually like that as an RTS. You know, they don't have any games like that anymore. Got more third-party reels. Okay, yeah, they're getting ready to go down to the end. Because this will be a sizzle reel, and then they'll say one
This
more thing.
movie, this Minecraft Legends does look
Pretty
fun.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't think Scott the Waz would like it. What does he not like? Does he hate Chibi Robo? People love Battle Network as well. At least Scott the Waz knows what the letter is, you know what I mean? I got so many views on my channel after he roasted it again a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I got messages that are like, oh, you made it, man. I should just send him a fan thing, like a package, or
You
just
just
a
have to like
letter.
lean. Yeah, I would always lean into that.
Yeah.
Lean to those people and stuff like that because it's
I mean, he's super famous. He's got like more than 1 million subscribers.
Oh yeah, I know.
The Scissor music's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the last Chibi Robo game wasn't the best, but to be honest, for being a bland platformer, it's still cool to have Chibi
This will
Robo.
be our last segment. Please take a look.
Oh, what are we getting? That's definitely not Metroid.
It's Zelda.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to wait more for Prime 4, but
Yeah.
basically they let you know how good it's gonna be when you could just see the remaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this game is gonna be better than
This one? Zelda?
Tears of the Kingdom. Like
I mean,
I think it's gonna be a whole lot better than the first
I
one.
hope so, because I wasn't. I mean, I played through it. I finished it, which is more than I could say for a lot of games now.
Sweep over Hyrule.
Cool looking town.
Liberate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors.
Got the darkness going on. I mean, I can already tell the graphics look. I mean, it's like the same exact style, but
But you can't really go much higher.
it just looks smoother.
Yeah.
It looks like the aliasing problems are just a little.
There's
bit
a lot
better.
more atmospheric
stuff going on. Yeah.
Like the fog and
Yeah. There looks like a little bit more variety. Yeah, that creepy demon boss thing from the original teaser.
Be able to stop him.
Yeah. I mean, look how far. So you can jump from the sky all the way down. If you can do that, and it's all rail sliding's good. New puzzles, new weapons.
I just already like the difference in the terrains. They look just much more different than the last one.
Building vehicles. Can we get Beetle in here, anyone?
Well, after I
Look
think they
at
probably,
that.
they probably learned so many
Look at
ideas
that.
from watching the jank builds that people
Yeah,
made. They're like,
yeah.
okay, let's just actually put these into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does look better.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, just look at it. It looks so clean. Like that cell shaded, like.
Save me, Link.
Gosh. And I told you, Kevin told me that they were gonna push it to holiday. I was like,
What?
no. I was like,
It's been like.
I was like, it's hitting the day,
That
dude.
was The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Tears of the
That
Kingdom.
looks good.
Because I mean, the first teaser was like a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Well, I
In
mean,
addition to
they
the
teased
standard
Metroid Prime 4 in
the
2017.
collector's edition.
Yeah, but it,
Bro, hit the pre-order button. That's it. Yeah.
Link from this game will
Oh.
also be available on the same day.
Buying the amiibo,
We hope
getting
you're
it all.
looking forward to Link's latest grand adventure.
Wow.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
Wow.
Thank you for watching.
no, really, man.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so gonna be a long wait. Yeah, 3 months. It's not too long. It's about 3 months away, but really, when you think about it, that's
We got Metroid to play now.
yeah. You gotta go. If you haven't played Metroid, that's what you gotta do. Like you gotta right now, like drop this video and go play Metroid. But no, for real. What would you? I could take my headphones off now.
Yeah, you don't need that. But
So, what would you give that on a scale? Like a B, A plus, a C?
you're asking the wrong person. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm
For someone who doesn't watch Nintendo Directs, what would you give it?
a B.
A B?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Hold on, we need to replay the whole thing. Did you
I mean,
see that
yeah,
Pikmin?
I mean, I guess, but I just don't care about all the stuff in the middle. The only things I care
Yeah.
about is Pikmin, Metroid, Zelda. I don't care about anything else.
Yeah. I wish you liked Mario Kart.
I just don't like it anymore.
Yeah, because I mean, like because
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't play it.
Because it's pretty crazy. Because I think there's 64 tracks in the deluxe version, and this wave of DLC they're doing is adding 48 more tracks. So you have more than 100 Mario Kart tracks in a single game.
I just have too much
It's-
stuff to play.
it's
just like
crazy.
another thing to add to the list of things.
I've only played the Wii version of Prime. Hope the Switch port does it justice. Yeah, I mean, so I grew up playing it on the GameCube. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I also have the Wii version. Hopefully that doesn't continue onto another video. But I think that the Wii version is just as good or better. It's better than the GameCube version, really. And basically looking at it from the trailer that we could see today, I would say that it looks like it does it justice. The only thing, like, if I'm going to be critical, the Phendrana Drifts, the ice area, like, one of the most chilling effects from that game is stepping into that area, the way that the music fades in, and then the way that all of the snow is intermixed. Actually, some of the original retro devs were just on Twitter, and they were talking about like some of the math behind the coding of how they made all those particles work back in the day. Because like the way, like if you play Metroid Prime on the GameCube, it looks better than like any other GameCube games, and it looks better than almost every PS2 game back in the day. And they really had some smart like engine tool developers that were like doing a lot of wizardry behind the scenes to get stuff to work. And that's like one of the most, like when you step into that area and that camera goes all around, you see that little, there's a couple birds that fly by and you can see them off in the distance. You can shoot at them and they'll move. You can actually kill them and it feels like they're in the atmosphere. For like being on the GameCube is like unbelievable. So it looked like from the clip that they showed that it had a little bit of snow, but it didn't have that same effect. They were just running like a really high definition snow. That would be like the one thing like I saw out of the art that I'm like, that kind of sucks. But Magmore Caverns looks really good. Like the lava looked better, you know, than the original. So also the frigate Orion, I think. I don't remember what the original name for the tutorial is. The ship that crashes, I think it's the frigate Orion. It looks good. All the metal, all that stuff looks realistic. Like when Ridley's blowing up the ship and stuff, like that looks really good. So it looks like it's going to do it justice. To me, I'm like, I want Nintendo. I'm kind of like the guy, like I don't buy anything digitally. I want, you know, to buy everything physically. I want to actually own it. I want to collect it. I want to be able to play it without the internet. But for Nintendo to know, hey, Metroid is important, I'm probably going to buy it today, play it, and then buy the physical copy in 2 weeks, to be honest. Just to be completely honest. Lots of RPGs in this direct. Not really a big RPG fan. I hear that. I like a few. I like some like JRPGs, and then
it's getting harder to find good ones.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them, like even some of the JRPGs, they feel like a bit generic now. You know, they all kind of fall into like the
like Tales. The newest Tales actually looks good. The last few have not been that great.
You mean Arise?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you meant the one that was already out, or like, because I don't think
the new one.
Oh, have they shown that one?
Or maybe did Arise come out? Is that the same one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean it looks like really good.
Yeah.
I think that's what you mean. I'm kind of with you on that. Like they just.
I'm hoping the new Final Fantasy is better because I can't stand 15. It was just so bad.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of them are kind of generic, but then also I kind of think that a lot of them don't really know. Like the old school games had more fun mechanics, and I feel like they ruin the mechanics in the new ones.
Well, yeah, that's why I just replay all the old ones.
Yeah. They are either anime RPGs or fantasy ones. I find them too boring. Yeah, a lot of them, like you said, a lot of them are all falling into that anime style. And I feel like a lot of them on Switch are falling into that style specifically due to hardware limitations. Because like it's a whole lot easier to cel shade, and if you're going to lean into that, you might as well just go full anime. And like most of the people who are developing these games are Japanese developers anyway, so it kind of fits into their wheelhouse or, you know, with their target market.
It's easy to get artists.
Yeah.
That can do it quickly.
Because it's like if you look at things like Xenoblade, like this is like one of my biggest examples. You know, like PS2 RPGs, like, you know, Final Fantasy X for you, that has a grittier, more realistic look in the art style.
Yeah.
Xenoblade on the Wii is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The textures
They're very
are
similar.
They're realistic looking textures.
Yeah.
And then the definitive edition remake on Switch, they line it up with the anime style, but it still has a more realistic style than 2. But the reason they're doing that is because it's put in the Xenoblade 2 engine. But, you know, that engine was built on that kind of style, and that's, like, due to hardware limitations. Because if you think about it, like, Xenoblade X on Wii U had, like, anime-ish characters and tropes, but that art style...
The world didn't look that
way. It looked
way.
super realistic.
Yeah.
And, like, if you had that world style, and then you did realistic shading on characters, like, back in the day, on, like, a more... you know, beefier system, like the RPGs would look a whole lot different. Like if they looked like Lost Odyssey on Xbox or something like that, like a gritty, like realistic kind of shading type of thing. Like I wish that developers would do that for, you know, I wish they would do Fire Emblem like that. Like back in the day, like how it was war games. It's like how Ike and them looked back in the day.
Yeah.
Like I wish they would go back to those kind of stuff because it's like obviously. I don't know. I feel like Three Houses, like a lot of people like complained about it because like the graphics weren't the best, and it's like the foliage, the trees, the maps, they look super realistic, and then you had to cell shade the characters,
Right.
because like that's kind of how it is. And then like for the new one, it's like they just kind of went all in on the art style. I feel like a lot of that has to do with Switch limitations, and also it has to do with art direction too. So a lot of. One RPG I did like was Pokemon Gold, a lot of personality, and it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, to be honest, like I'm not really a big Pokemon fan, but Pokemon Heart Gold, the one on the DS, is the one I played more than any other Pokemon game. I only basically played that game, and then Pokemon X and Y, and then all the other ones I ever picked up, like Black and White, and Alpha, Sapphire, Ruby, all those, I played them for like about an hour and cut it off. I played Pokemon Legends on Switch for about an hour, cut it off.
Yeah, I was surprised you even got it. You were like, yeah, man, new Pokemon. I was like, why are you getting it? And I just didn't think you were going to play it.
Well, it's because it was different, you know, and I actually did have fun. I played about 5 hours of it, so I didn't like cut it off like in the first hour. It had a huge tutorial learning curve. Like the dialogue, they just would not stop. It's like you had to just click through the dialogue. It's so boring.
Wasn't Xenoblade that way?
Oh yeah, that drove me crazy on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. But that's because like a lot of people would be playing that for the first time that didn't play the other ones,
right,
based on the Switch audience and stuff. Like they held your hand for like 10 hours. And I'm like, because it's like so much harder.
I can't remember what game. I think it was Destiny. Yeah, I was playing Destiny recently. And if you come back to Destiny after a long period, it will treat you like a new player. And it will like constantly like give you like press M to open your map or whatever. And I went into the settings and was like trying to find the settings that said turn off hints or whatever. And I turned all the hints and helpful things off. And still it was like, I would still get pop-ups saying like trying to help me. And it wouldn't go away until I hit a button to open my inventory.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, you got a new piece of gear. Press this button to open your inventory. I'm like, I don't want it. I saw what it was. I don't need to open it because it's just like, please, game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Can't stand it.
Yeah. So, a lot of games do hold your hand. I feel like Fire Emblem is the same way. Like, for being a veteran Fire Emblem player, it's like all the systems are streamlined to make it easier for newer players. You know, it's like, I like some of the games back in the day where they're like super brutal. Like, my favorite game is probably Echoes. It's like, you know, the weapons break, so, you know, you gotta be careful what you're carrying on your person. You only have so many uses. But, like, literally in that game, every spell that you use, it costs you HP. They didn't have a breakage. Like, you know, the old games, like spells, the tomes would break. You know, you'd only have like 20 uses, and then you would just, like Robin, you know, you lose your fire and smash, and like it would pop out. But like in Echoes, like to cast fire, it would cost you 2 HP. So then you'd have to calculate, be like, well, it's going to cost me 2, and then like I got to factor in what they're going to hit, and then you got to like factor in ahead. So like if I'm not going to kill, if they hit me and, you know, they won't kill me, well, my character is automatically going to auto-attack. So then I'll take another 2 damage. You know, you think multiple turns ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like way more complicated. And like that's back in the day where it's like, you know, I'm playing on hard and permadeath. It's like, I'm like, you're looking at the grid and I'm like, you're really trying to figure out who's going to attack where, you know, who's vulnerable, what should you line up, what all should you do. Yeah, it's way more fun. So, Destiny wasn't as good as some of my colleagues said. I bought it for PlayStation, just so complicated.
That sounds about right.
He can speak to that more than me. I don't play Destiny, but he's a big fan.
I mean, I have like 1,000 hours. I mean, I personally love it, but it's definitely not for everybody, and I like acknowledge that. You need a group of people to play with. You can play it solo. I do, but it's not the best experience. It's also the most not free game that there is. Because there's just basically nothing to do as a free player, period, like at all.
Yeah.
There's a couple things. You can play the multiplayer, but like they pretty much require you to spend the 40s, like the multiple expansions to do any of the content.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating.
When I Googled it the other day for my video, my Year of Focus video, if you haven't checked it out, you can watch it. It's my last video on the channel. I had a clip of Destiny in there. I Googled it on the PlayStation Store, and when I just typed in Destiny 2, it's like the amount of expansions that were like $40, $20. So it felt like there was quite a bit of them.
Well, it's also
been years.
It came out in 2014.
But it feels like, like let's say if you're someone like me and you want to experience everything the game has to offer, you're trying to complete it, a completionist, like that would be not the game to play. It probably costs you $200 or more.
Yeah, and a lot of time.
Yeah,
a lot of time.
Yeah, I can't stand the games that waste your time.
The problem with Destiny also is it's not a game you can sit down and play for 30 minutes. If you want to do some of the content, you have to set aside 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like you have to be like, all right, 4 hours, I'm playing Destiny, and potentially more if we don't clear it.
Yeah, and that's not exactly what everyone can do, So.
Yeah,
it's sometimes overwhelming.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
Are the same way because I've also played Final Fantasy 14, which I have 4,000 hours in.
Yeah.
And I've helped a lot of new players, but it is extremely overwhelming as a new game because of the amount of content. I mean, it's just thousands and thousands of hours of content.
Yeah, I don't really play any games like that are just overwhelmed in content, but games that do like I was saying in my last video, that waste your time. Like if I'm trying to complete it, like let's say, like I can't stand the games where the achievements waste your time and they're just, you're wasting it for no reason. Like my most recent example of like a game that I just quit that had just too much content was State of Decay when we were playing on Xbox. Because I was going for like all those achievements and there's like one, like if you're a PlayStation user, it's like a bronze trophy. Like this is equivalent. But the only way to get this one bronze trophy was to play the game for 150 hours consecutively. So it's like, and there's like 200 achievements, and like that's one, and you had to play it in one like run on like a hard difficulty and survive for like X amount of days. So it was like going to be 150 hours. So it's like if you wanted to like, let's say complete the game, like do all of the different runs, do everything that you needed to do to get like all of the achievements, it's 1,000 hours plus.
Right.
And it's like the content of the game doesn't really support it. They're just like wasting your time with all that stuff. So games like that, I'm kind of with you. They get overwhelming and I just quit. I was just like, I sold it. I'm like, I sold it on eBay. I toasted it, So like, how are we supposed to complete this game fully? And most of the missions in the games are just also repetitive and filler so they can get you to play more. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was talking about.
That's why I don't like RPGs now, because I just can't stand... I've expressed this a lot. I want to go back to linear RPGs.
Yeah.
Because it would be that's why I like Dead Space so much, because it was just a concise, linear experience. You can spend so much time just perfecting this section instead of trying to make this open world so perfect and full of crap.
Yeah, I mean, all of my favorite games are like linear. I mean, I hate open world games.
Some of my, I don't really like them either.
Because like I know you say like
you consider
like Xenoblade open world, but the story is linear. You go from spot to spot to spot, and then the only additional stuff and the maps of the world are basically linear. And then there's just basically extra stuff you can explore if you want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the story is there's not like, it's not like open world like Assassin's Creed or something where you go to a village and you got to clear the bandit, or like Horizon, Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed isn't as good of an example because they're more linear than you would think. But
Okay, well, I'm just talking about like the trope of like the Horizons take on, where you go to clear a bandit camp, you do this, you go to this village, you have all these random side quests. You didn't even have to go to this village.
That's how I feel Zelda, like Breath of the Wild was. That's why I didn't.
Yeah, because it was all completely random, and you could just basically do anything that you wanted to do. And basically, the only reason that you did any of that stuff in Breath of the Wild was to make the final boss easier. But you could skip all of it because each divine beast like took 25% down on the health, and then like if you did all 4 of them like you're supposed to do, the boss is regular health.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? But then like
Dark Souls.
Yeah, like the king. So. But for like Xenoblade or whatever, it's not like any of those games where there's like all these random stuff. Like you can do side quests at little villages you visit and stuff, but like it's just for extra content or story or whatever. But you can just go from story marker to story marker, and all the maps. There's nowhere to get too lost, especially in the first game. Like you just go from area to area, and they're like linear. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Xenoblade 3 has a little bit more to where like the areas are bigger. And like you could go into another area that you didn't need to yet, and then you have to go back, and it's like kind of exploring. But the first Xenoblade's not like that. Each area is like you can only go to the next one. Like the whole game is pretty much linear. It's just like there's pockets that you could explore. Like I could go down in this cave over here, and I didn't have to. And there's a secret underground lake. Yeah, that kind of thing.
It's just like
He says, I don't really see Zelda as an RPG. I believe it's more of an adventure than an RPG, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of agree.
There's not like traditional leveling systems and stuff, how you would think in an RPG.
Yeah.
It's not like Final Fantasy.
Especially like the old Zeldas, like, because I like the format of the older Zeldas better, like, especially on Switch now.
Breath of the Wild is the most RPG of any of them.
Yeah.
The other ones are not even... Or not at all.
Well, I would say like
Twilight Princess is more open worldy-ish than all the other ones.
Well, I know you haven't played Skyward Sword at all, right?
No.
Yeah, and that one's on Switch now, and I'm thinking about that. It's honestly more open. It's like I feel like a lot of the inspiration for Breath of the Wild came from.
Though. It's just how they're played.
It's just like that one has a little more open. It's still linear area to area, but like you have the whole sky, and you have like sky loft. Like so, you start in the sky, and then you go down to Faron Woods first, and then do all of the linear world exploring, and then you'll come back, and then you'll poke a hole in the sky, and then go down to the desert. But like in the sky, you can still fly to like additional islands and stuff. Mm-hmm. That they'll be like. Like the Lumpy Pumpkins out there. There's like a restaurant in the middle of the sky that you just don't have to go to, and you can just fly out there. Or there's like a samurai teacher in the bamboo forest out in the back, and then you actually have to backtrack in that game and explore and like reopen up areas. Like each area has a secondary area with a new temple and stuff. And also in Skyward Sword, you would go into the bazaar in Skyloft, and you could forge. Like, you would collect materials in the world, and you would forge shields, you would forge weapons, like different levels of slingshots. If you brought a wooden shield, and you got it caught on fire, it would burn up and disappear, and you wouldn't have the shield anymore. But then you could forge a metal shield, and then it wouldn't catch on fire, but it would be heavier or whatever. So it's like they had, like, light elements like that, which is what they translated into Breath of the Wild, of, like, constantly weapon inventorying and weapons breaking and
that's what I just don't like. But I'm sure that's going to still be there.
Maybe it'll be better because like a lot of people complained about weapons breaking.
Maybe.
Zelda 2 was a lot like an RPG. You could level up with Link, an RPG leveling system. Yeah, I think that's the only. Have you played Zelda 2?
Like the original?
Yeah.
No, I've watched a ton of speedruns of it, but no, I haven't played it.
Yeah. So.
No, the other. I've played the original Zelda.
I've only played about 15 minutes of the original Zelda 2.
I've played Zelda 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played any of it. I have it. I do have it, actually.
Yeah.
I have the first two. But No, I haven't played it really.
Yeah. So, well, so you gave it a B? Is that what you said, B+?
Yeah.
Beginning.
I mean, if they would have put Rhythm Heaven in, maybe I'd give it an A.
Yeah. I would say overall...
That would have made it perfect, because A to me, it means perfect. So Rhythm Heaven would have...
Yeah, I don't know if this was perfect. I would say high B+, maybe an A- on this. Because I feel like it really had a good spread of, like, the last Nintendo Direct was, like, RPG heavy. Like, a ton of RPGs and farming sims.
Yeah, that was the meme.
It was, like,
just
like 15 farming
just
sims.
all farming.
And, like, for this one, I'm like, well, they showed, like, some third parties RPGs that people would like. You know, no Hollow Knight showed up. No more Metroid Prime 4. Kid Icarus wasn't there. A lot of people thought it was going to be there. But you basically got a good look in the beginning of the year, you know, of what's going to come out all the way through basically July. So they were right the first half. You got Advance Wars dated, which is going to be cool. I mean, the original game was made by Intelligent Systems, Fire Emblem devs made Advance Wars. So, like, that'll be good, you know, and that's in April. I don't really care too much about the Bayonetta thing in March, and, like, I might get Kirby this month. But now that Kirby comes out on the 24th, and
Metroid's 2 days before that.
So I'm like, they just murdered Kirby. I'm like, why did they do that?
Well, most of the people that are going to buy Metroid, I mean, they're going to do both, like you said.
The people who are buying Metroid will buy both, but the people buying Kirby aren't buying Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like those people are still going to buy Kirby, but to me it's like, well, if I'm looking at my budget, like, I don't buy that many games anymore, and I have to choose one, like, I'm passing on Kirby and buying Metroid. You know, so it's like they just murdered Kirby for me. So I'm like, they should have just put Kirby in March with Bayonetta. That's what they should have done. They should have put it like March 7th and had nothing in February, and it just been a surprise drop, and Metroid is here. But yeah, so that's cool. I think that literally Zelda looks really good. Honestly, my most anticipated for the whole year is Pikmin. I mean, Pikmin is like I say that Metroid Prime and Xenoblade are my favorite Nintendo games of all time, my favorite games of all time. But I think that, like, Pikmin might be my favorite franchise they have. Like, just because, like, how good each entry has been, like how original it is and different it is. I love it. So, like, I'm really, really looking forward to that. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Looking forward to all the multiplayer options, you know, all that kind of stuff, like the bingo battles and, you know, all that.
Yeah, this will be the most Nintendo I've played in, like, years. I
know. And what do you think about it that March 3rd closes 6 years, so we're in year 7 of this generation, and they're hitting this many bangers. Do you think they're going to hit their 20 million unit sale mark?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a problem, really.
Well, it's because they just lowered their forecast. Like, when March closes, like, from this past year, they're lowering it to 18 million.
Yeah,
they were wanting to sell.
Imagine how much Zelda
will sell.
Yeah.
All they have to do is just drop a Zelda Switch.
Yeah, like, they'll easily sell it.
Yeah.
And then when Metroid comes out, like, they'll sell a crap ton more.
Yeah, so Java says no Silk Song. He was wanting to see that too. He said a lot of good games, but some uninteresting ones. I'm with you. So for me, I would say probably about an A-. It's pretty good. Like, I'm very excited. I mean, this is probably, like I said, last year was the best year of gaming for me because I got Splatoon 3 and then I got Xenoblade 3. And, like, those 2 games alone, I was like, my year is done.
Yeah, I thought last year was great for me because it was God of War and Elden Ring.
But this year's
actually going to be really good as well.
If you think about it, for me this year, it's a Fire Emblem, a Pikmin, a Zelda, and Metroid.
You're not like, well, you're kind of liking Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would, like, at this, I think the gameplay is a whole lot of fun, and, like, I'm having fun with it, but I just don't really like the story. I don't like the art direction, or, like, really any of the support conversations, like, the character interactions. They're really, really good in, like, all the other games. Mm-hmm. And this one, they're just kind of cheesy. The characters aren't really that likable to me, but it's still fun.
I mean, it might just maybe because they had to make so many characters or bring everything in. I don't know, maybe they just struggled with the writing. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels a little rushed, but yeah. So I think that's pretty good. Wii U eShop closing in March. Yeah, make sure you get all of your TreeFall Studios games. They're going to be gone forever. The Letter on Wii U. You got to get Journey of Special Average Balloon. That's not on any other platform. That's gone forever. And then what's the other one? Because almost every Wii U game has been ported.
Did you say Night Detective?
Night Detectives wasn't even on Wii U, and it got ported to PS4.
Well, I knew that, but
The
what was
only-
it on? What'd you put it on?
It was on the PC originally, and then it...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but it basically never came out. The only other thing that's on there, which is crazy, Outside the Realm. Do you remember that game? The one where it's like a little space man and he like flies around and hits aliens.
Yeah, I remember that.
That game and Journey of Special Average Balloon are the only two.
I forgot all about that game.
Those are the only two Wii U games that have not been ported anywhere else. They will be gone forever. Your Wii U will be worth gold if you have a copy of Journey of Special Average Balloon. You know what's pretty crazy? We've actually sold a lot of copies of that game. A lot more than...
You'd be like the people selling their phones with Flappy Bird back in
Yeah.
the day when they took Flappy Bird off the store.
That's like my third best-selling game. I think it's like... Well, it's like The Letter and then Maze or... Actually, yeah, it's
And
like...
Balloon?
A Balloon is above Orb on the original Wii U.
Wii U, man.
But Orb is my highest-selling game of all time on all the other stuff. But yeah, besides the point... in my opinion, we need a new Mario game, new Animal Crossing Prime 4, and also Mario Kart 9. Yeah, see, the Mario Kart 9 thing, that's launching with the new Nintendo hardware. That's the whole reason why they extended this one, because the Mario Kart's their best-selling game ever. It's also a system pusher, as you can see. They will launch the new Nintendo hardware with... At this point, since we don't even see Prime 4... I guarantee you Prime 4 will be the launch title that's like on Switch and also on the new one. Mario Kart 9 will be on the new hardware and the new Mario game will be that same year. So you'll get Mario Kart, a new Mario game, and you'll get Metroid because you will not be getting Zelda because Zelda will have just come out like a year to two before and they won't be doing a port type of thing. So that's exactly how they'll go into the new generation, which will be fine with me. I think they're playing it smart and safe, so... overall, good show. I had fun watching it and reacting. Thanks for joining in on the comments. I hope everyone enjoyed our coverage. The stream did not crash this time, so that's pretty good. Going to be working on some of the stream quality and be doing some live dev stuff soon, doing more development on Pic-A-Block and a couple other things like that. So I might as well go ahead, since this is a YouTube video, and shout out our Patreon subscribers before we close out the stream. Got to give a personal shout out to Carmen Red, Overhyped Gamer, and Shark and Minnow. Thanks for what you do for TreeFall Studios on Patreon.com. Could not do what we do without you. If you're interested, I believe in the stream, in the description of this video, we should have links to our Patreon page, all of our games on PlayStation and Steam. In case you want to support the channel, you can do it that way. We also have merchandise in case you want to get your pillows or you want to get some shirts, stuff like that. So you can do all sorts of things below to support the channel. But thanks for tuning in on the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the Nintendo Direct and you're looking forward to new games coming out this year in 2023. All right, guys, we will catch you next time.